What's good, everybody? It's Shaq back with Sergio's Collection. Today is Friday, July 17th. We're officially closing the day 7 of this 21-day speed run. So it's been a fun journey so far. It's pretty late, so I'll be brief with this one. So today was really a heavy planning day. So first thing I did was really coordinating all the different installations that are happening next week. So we have a lot of different things that need to be done, whether it's tables and chairs being delivered, cooler being delivered, putting in internet, phone systems, just different things like that next week. And a lot of them have these large windows from 8 to 4 p.m. and it's just, ridiculous. And I still have a day job. So just trying to coordinate with all the different vendors to make sure that I'm there when they're there, and throughout the week next week. So spent a lot of time doing that and rescheduling, changing dates. I had a lot of things scheduled for tomorrow, but for some reason they all moved away on their own. And then second thing was really around planning the next 7 days. So we're officially, like I said, officially done with 7 days. And I have a spreadsheet basically every week with all the different tasks. And how it typically works is I have those tasks, and then I take those 20 to 30 tasks per week and I break them up by day. So I know Monday I'm getting these things done, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Rinse and repeat every week. Just that way I can keep myself honest. Instead of looking at a large, massive list, I look at a smaller list. It's more digestible and more easier to get done. And I feel good about completing a task versus like, okay, I got 29 more things to complete. So spent a lot of time today planning out the next 7 days to make sure that each day is kind of equally distributed. During the week, it's really, like I said, I work, so I only have the evenings free, and so it's a little less can be done, especially at the store. And then the weekends is kind of where I get a lot more of the installations and kind of the physical kind of labor done. So those kind of the main two things for today. Moving on to learning, just real quick, I think a topic that a lot of business owners have to decide on, whether to do everything themselves or bring in support and help. And I think it really depends on a few things. One, your financial situation, I think, is a big part of that. Right, if you have enough money to hire a bunch of people, or you're doing it yourself, and it may take longer. I think too, the time frame you need to get things done in. So, if you're opening a store in 3 weeks like me, probably can't do everything yourself, just because a lot of tasks need to be done like concurrently, and you can't do everything. So I think time is another factor. And then 3, just your own kind of bandwidth, your abilities to juggle a lot of different tasks. I think that's what's also important too. And so I think you have to use your judgment a lot of the times. I would say with core things, like for example, I keep going back to the example of like choosing a point of sale system, choosing a terminal, hiring employees, doing things like that. Yes, you should be doing those yourself, but hey, I need some extra hands to help install some slat wall. Okay, you can still help with that, but maybe bring in a couple more people to get that done faster, so that way you can get back to doing a lot of the other stuff as well. And so I think use your judgment, understand your budget, understand what you're doing, get creative. And it's never a bad thing to do everything yourself, but it's also never a bad thing to ask for help and get some support and help, right? I think, too many business owners are like, oh, I'm going to do everything myself. And then they get 2, 3, 4 years down the line and no one else knows anything because they did everything themselves. And so for me, I like to learn how to do things. I like to write kind of documents, SOPs. I like to build out the process, optimize it. And then I want to hand that thing off to someone who can actually make it better and continue to move the ball forward, and I can work more on other things in the business. And so that's just a quick thing. I think that's something that over the last 10 years, I had to get better at, relinquishing control of certain tasks and giving it to someone else. And just trusting that, hey, like this person is capable. I hired this person to do this job, and they're capable of doing that. And so that's just something I want to talk about tomorrow. Tomorrow is a little bit open. In the morning, I have some kind of desk, laptop work to get done. And there are a lot of small tasks that I need to kind of complete the week with. So that's going to be my first morning, and then waiting on a few things to get potentially delivered tomorrow. So if those get delivered tomorrow, then the evening will be a little more full in the store. But if not, I'm really just going to be unboxing, unpacking some stuff, and kind of putting in their respectful space in the store. But like I said, I'm really waiting on a lot of the big kind of installations and fixtures to really set up the store. So I think tomorrow's going to be a pretty heavy, just checking off a lot of these small computer tasks, 5 to 10 minutes, 20-minute tasks, hour or 2 tasks. So that's what I'm going to do tomorrow as I get ready to prep for this next week. So, but yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm probably going to head to bed in a little bit. It's pretty late over here. So I am calling it a night. Until next time, y'all. Peace.